Well, man, I'm fired up for my team. Last 2 weeks have been tough playing here against Baylor, and not really finishing and playing the way we did. And then last week going to TCU, and thought the guys fought their tails off. But we talked all week long about finishing the fourth quarter. Did some different things in practice this week to try to get ready for that, and I thought they did a great job. You look at the stats. Rushed for 264 yards. That's huge. I think we had 3 rushing touchdowns, which I love, running the ball into the end zone. And so the offensive line, played well. And I think we ended up giving him 1 sack. And, they brought pressure. And we were cutting the front line and threw a little bit too soon, or probably don't give up a sack. And so really proud of the guys. I thought the play right before half to Trey Cleveland was huge momentum play, because they had grabbed all the momentum, and then you see Wolf come out and kick a 51-yarder, to get us to 20, to 27 going into the half. So it was really big. But man, proud of our guys. One step closer to some goals that we have, and got a chance to reach those next week. So with that, open up with any questions.
Coach, the big one, is there any update for Tyree Wilson?
No, we x-rayed, his foot just to make sure, nothing crazy happened. Everything really wasn't – it was enough to where we weren't going to put him back in the game. We put him in a boot. I think we'll x-ray again tomorrow, really kind of see where it's at. Hopefully he's okay. If he's not, man, it's going to be really tough for us and that kid. He is everything you want in a football player, not just talent-wise, but just who he is and how much he cares about this team. So we'll get another look at it tomorrow to see, stress fracture, if there's a fracture, if it's an ankle, exactly what all it is. And then, with that happening, you probably, especially him not going back in the game, you probably expect him not to play next week either way. And so we'll have to shuffle some people around. But I was really proud of, Josiah Pierre and Joseph Adedire and Isaac Smith came in and, played really well in the fourth quarter for us.
And then you had 2 big takeaways on defense. What can you speak about those and those momentum swings? You talked about winning the turnover battle all year.
Yeah, it was huge. Really, really big for going into half. Kosai's interception, I thought was, again, helped us regain that momentum. And then right there at the end, Josiah's strip sack and Jay Boog being able to scoop it. I thought that was a huge way to put the game away. And, 2 of the games that we've caused multiple turnovers, I think we scored 40 points. This one in West Virginia. And so, that's a big part of it. And hopefully these things come in bunches, and we can get some next week.
The running game earlier, but 4 different guys scored, 4 different guys had at least 50 yards on the ground. Was that a concerted effort to establish a running game, or did the game just shake out that way?
No, we felt like we could run the football. We felt like we could formation them and certain things and make different guys tackle. It was the one guy that did lead us in rushing was Tyler. I thought he did such a great job. Whenever things were covered down, he got vertical and converted, especially early in the first half. He converted some first downs with his feet. And that was huge to keep us ahead of the sticks. But, we felt like, you had Roderick at 68 and you had Cameron at 66, and then you had Taj at 58. And really, really good effort by those 3 guys. And, again, I think you're seeing a healthy Cameron Valdez, really helps this offense, gives us another weapon and a kind of different running back.
You touched on Shuck running there too, but clean all-around game, no turnovers, good in the passing game, and led y'all in rushing. What all did he mean to the team in the win tonight?
Well, I'll tell you, it was a really great run by Taj on that last touchdown because we got pressure. But the one thing that we like so much about Tyler, he got us in that play. We had a play, and they gave us a look to where they were bringing pressure, and we couldn't block that pressure with the amount of guys that we had in protection. And so he checked to a run. And then, Taj, being Taj, was able to make a jump cut and get in the end zone. Really, really great run, but it was also a check to that run that made a big difference.
Was that initially a pass?
It was, yeah. It was initially a pass. They were bringing pressure off the edge. We would not have enough with the protection we were in to be able to get that pressure, so Tyler checked out of it and checked to a run.
So Roderick had another milestone tonight, 37th career rushing touchdown, tie for third of all time. Kind of just speak on his leadership on and off the field.
Man, whenever I first met Sir Roderick, he's so quiet, and he's got a different personality. And we actually did a fourth quarter in the stadium. It was really cold in the morning at about 6 o'clock, and I'm talking about bringing energy from each other and playing for the guy to the right and left. And he said, "Amen, Coach, that's what we do." And, man, I knew right there that kid, was all in, and he shows it every week. He should and is going to have a good career at the next level. Just, again, those really all three of them now with Cameron, but they're unselfish. They don't matter who's in the game. They're cheering for each other. They're up right there paying attention. And, man, I'm proud of him the way he ran the ball tonight.
Special is also stepping up for you guys, too. What was your overall analysis of that group today?
Yeah, they did a good job, and they continue. That's something that we've changed a little bit on Wednesdays. We've been in practice in the stadium, kicking some field goals with some pressure around them. And, there's water bottles shooting at McNamara as the holder, just trying to create chaos. I thought they did a great job. Mac, put us in some good situations punting wise, and then, that was a huge field goal by Wolf. That 51-yarder going into half was really big. So I'm proud of those guys, man. They do a great job for us.
Coach, talk to us about the defense and shutting them out in the third quarter. They'd been able to move the ball, big chunk plays, and yet they weren't able to get any real big things in the third quarter.
Very frustrating. If you were on the headsets in the first half, man, it was something on the defensive side of the ball, because it was very frustrating because, we lost some eye discipline and gave up some big plays and, lost the edge. And that's something we haven't done. That's one thing, defensively, we've set edges, and we've really, for the last 3 or 4 games, our eyes have been in good places. That third quarter, I think, Tim did a good job of just settling our guys down at halftime, really going back to some base calls to allow them to play fast and get lined up. And then we were able to pressure the quarterback some in that third quarter and really pressure the quarterback in the fourth quarter.
Talk about how Devin Neal was able to run on at will at times, and how frustrating was that for you?
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, number one, he's a great running back. I mean, he had 193 yards tonight, and he's a really, really good running back. He does a good job as far as getting vertical once he sees he's a little bit, I think Cameron would get there, but he's a little bit, faster, but they're a lot alike because they put their foot in the ground and they get vertical. It was really frustrating in the first half because we were losing edges. We were falling, behind the blocks instead of going over the top, and making some plays. And some of it too was Bean and his running ability and probably putting one more guy to the quarterback than what we normally do. And so that slowed some of the backside pursuit to where he was able to cut it back. Probably first half for sure, and a little bit of that third quarter is probably not going to be very pretty film. But, the win makes up for that, and then we always get to work off of film to get better next week.
Coach, would you speak to Tyler's change from last week to this week and just the progress and what he did this past week to get into this position this week?
Well, he'll probably tell you, the healthier he gets and the more rust he knocks off has been huge. The one thing too, I think his feet, and he'll probably tell you, I thought his feet were a lot better this week. You know, you bring a lot of power from your lower half and being able to put the zip on the ball, and I think you know, his feet were a lot better. A lot of that probably, and you'll be able to ask him, but some of that is, you know, getting over that shoulder because he's having to probably open up, and he was probably compensating last week, and so there were some balls that were flying. I thought he was really locked in, you know, tonight, and again, you know, kind of seeing what we expected to see this year, the way he was going to play.
I mean, just when you kind of thought you were getting away from Xavier White, boy, what a play he makes there in the fourth quarter, and what a pass that came from Tyler too.
Yeah, it was a huge play. You know, it was funny. I told X, I said, man, that was a great play. And he goes, God, I should have scored. You know, that's the deal. I mean, you know, Nehemiah had a good game again, and Miles had a good game, and X. I mean, we got three inside guys that I don't know if you see who's out there, if it really matters who's out there. I mean, all three of them can make big plays, and they're all tough and physical and have really good hands.
How do you feel like the offensive line's performance kind of allowed Tyler to settle in and find a rhythm early in the game?
I thought they, you know, just kind of thinking and not being able to watch film yet, of course, probably one of their better games. I mean, whenever you talk about rushing for, you know, 260 yards and then, you know, really only giving up one sack, probably one of their better games. You know, it was good to get Monroe back. You know, he had a really good week. Jacoby Jackson played well tonight. You know, and then they're going to be the first one to tell you we had to clean up some penalties. We had a holding penalty. We had a lineman downfield. But, you know, other than that, I thought they played probably their best game.
Joey, talk about the assessment that you feel about the Big 12. We always talk about offense, but there's been a lot of pretty good defense being played in this league this year.
Yeah, Lance and I were actually talking about Kansas. We were talking about that before the game. You know, they have a guy, I worked with him for a few months on their staff as one of their analysts, Coach Lubick, and he does a lot of stuff whenever it's looking at defenses. And the one thing that he told Lance, he said, man, you got another week of a defense that really plays extremely hard. And, you know, I think because we're in the Big 12 and it's easy to say, there's a lot of analysts and a lot of reporters and stuff like that talk about, really they're talking about the old Big 12. They're not talking about what's going on right now. And, man, it really is easy to say that. But I think, you know, defensively, this conference is a tough conference. We're going to face one of the best defenses in the country next week. And then, you know, I think this is one of the best conferences. I think we match up with anybody. You know, I wish we were right in the middle of it, but we're where we're at. But, you know, I'm proud of TCU. You know, I'm proud of what they're doing right now for our conference. And, you know, they're doing a great job. And, you know, people are saying a lot of different things, if they should be there or shouldn't be there. I know they're undefeated, and they're playing really good football, and I think they match up with anybody. And, you know, I think this conference matches up with anybody from top to bottom. There's no outs in this conference, no easy outs in this conference.
Joey, back on Tyree for a moment. So was the x-ray negative or was it inconclusive?
I didn't get a chance to even talk to Drew. He just said we were taking him in for an x-ray, and he came back out with a boot. You know, once he said he couldn't go back in, he was like, man, we'll have to look at it again tomorrow. And, you know, once Drew tells me they can't come back in, man, I got to go on to the next and see who we can go with. And I just told Tim, I said, hey, Tyree's not coming back, so who are we rolling with? You know, Joseph played, and then Wooten got some more reps right there because, you know, he's kind of number 3 in that spot. And so hoping that he's okay, you know, but anytime you come out in a boot at out of whatever it was, third quarter, it's never good that you're expecting to play next week.
And it looked like there was little or no contact when he got hurt. Did he just take a bad step, or what did Tyree say?
I thought he was throwing his body. You know, he's putting a lot of pressure on the quarterback. I mean, he had pressure to the quarterback, and, you know, he gets a hit on the quarterback that they throw a flag. I thought that was, you know, it's tough to stomach right there. The much pressure, the ball was still in the quarterback's hands whenever he started to make contact, you know, and that was a big play in the game that they on that flag right there. But, you know, Didn't get to. I mean, I really didn't get to see it other than he was out there and they were checking his ankle, checking his foot, checking everything.
And you talked to him, came over between third and fourth quarter, I saw, all the way
Yeah.
down there at the far end. What were you
Mine
doing?
was whenever he was in the boot and I knew he wasn't coming back, I said, just hang in there. We'll figure out what it is. And, Tyree, man, it's just like last week whenever he pulled some guys out to go back in the game in the fourth quarter for no reason to go back in the game. Man, he's all in, man, and he believes in his teammates, and he's a really, really good teammate. And so I think whenever he couldn't go back in, you could tell his face, man, he was struggling because he wants to win, and he wants to continue to build on the resume that he has. I mean, guy's going to be a number 1 draft pick. I've had multiple people tell me if he gets out of the from 1 to 15, it's going to be a shock that he goes any later than 15. So he loves playing football.
A lot of folks have asked about, willingness to run Tyler after Tyler's injuries, but tonight he has individual runs of 14, 9, 9, 8, 5, 7, 18, and 5 yards. Just what have y'all seen in him that obviously makes you want to take advantage of that?
Well, he can run. He can. But I think whenever you look at it, we had a couple of design runs for him, but then there was some of them that really he pulled down and took advantage of where they were dropping, and that's one thing. And I'll never forget week 1. Before everything happened, we had some stuff. We were pulling him out to run Donovan. He goes, Coach, I can run the ball too. And I said, yeah, man, I got you. And so we saw that tonight, and I'm glad we did.
Landon Peterson, what did he do this past week?
Shoulder, and he'll be done. Great question, but we're gonna shut him down for the year. That's why we started Jacoby. His shoulders is pretty hurt. We don't want to do anything more. He's got a lot of football in front of him, and so we'll go with Jacoby Jackson at right guard, and then Cade Briggs backing him up.
Is it going to require surgery?
Probably so. All right.
And how much did it take off your shoulders when you knew that it didn't matter if it was Siraj or Cameron, everyone who was getting the ball was making positive yards and 5-6 yard.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a testament to how well the O-line played, and then how confident I am in the running backs. We probably had the best running back room in the whole nation, just because of how talented they are, how smart they are. So, I feel confident handing off. I mean, sometimes there was some gritty yards that we needed to get, and they got them, and they popped it. And then my runs, obviously some scramble, some design on the short yardage. So, I was really proud of them.
Tyler, correct me if I'm wrong, but tonight is the first time that you have started and finished a game since last year against FIU, I believe.
Sounds about right. Yeah, it's been a while.
With all that you've been through, what does it mean to you to start and complete a game and play a key role in a victory? Did you ever doubt that you would have this night again?
No, I never doubted it. That's just what I prayed and hoped for, just because I knew I was going to get an opportunity regardless, and I feel confident in how I play, and I feel confident in my teammates no matter who's in, and that's just a testament to how we practice and how we come back to work no matter the previous result of the week before. So really just I have so much confidence in my teammates. It gives me confidence to go out there, and that comes with preparation too.
To what extent, if any, did it take any toll on you emotionally, just all the setbacks you have gone through to get back to this point?
Yeah, I mean, it took a huge toll, because obviously you put in the work for 8-9 months to compete for the job, to get back to where you want to be, and this is a huge part of our lives. But at the end of the day, it's not going to be a thing that we're doing forever. And I found a lot of comfort in being out there with my teammates, getting better every single day, learning more about myself. But at the end of the day, this is what I feel like I'm really good at and want to keep getting better. So it was good to finally put a whole game together and get out there.
Taj, Tyler said it right there. You guys have a really loaded running back room. To you, being one of the leaders of that room, what is the X factor of that room, in your opinion?
I'll say our X factor is just making explosive plays. Really just me, Sar, Cam, and Bryson. We just focus on trying to get explosive plays, trying to score touchdowns, and just really just be together.
I guess kind of for both of you. Coach had mentioned Tyler, I guess, switched out or audibled from a pass play to a run play on that last one where Taj made the big cut. What'd you see there? And I guess in terms of what Taj was able to do, Tyler, can you just speak to his talents? And then Taj, if you could just speak to what you saw in that play and the ability to make that touchdown there.
Yeah, they came out in the 4-1 box. We were having a different play on, and then they were bringing Saul. So I knew we were at least going to be able to knife him underneath it just because it was a light box. He ended up coming tight off the line, and Taj made a miss. It was a great play by him. I was trying to cut him off, but, that was pretty much all him at that point. We liked the box going into it. That was just me checking out of it, and he did the rest, and it was a great play.
I would just say really just being explosive and just making one miss and then just following the end zone. That's all I say on that.
Back to Ariel.
Coach McGuire mentioned that you guys are one step closer to one of y'all's goals, which is making a bowl game. With you guys being the leaders in that locker room too, what is the message that you guys are going to bring back to the team whenever you guys got back to practice or when you guys go over film?
Really, it's just the same thing that Coach McGuire is preaching is what's next. This week doesn't matter going forward because we still have 2 more wins that left and 2 more regular season games. But next week we got Iowa State, and they're the best defense in the conference right now. So, but we welcome a challenge. We want to step up to the plate and especially go in their place and get it done. So I think that's what we're going to be focused on. Recorrecting our mistakes from today, and watching film going forward just to prepare for them.
Really just preaching what's next and just the next person mentality. Just adversity might hit in some players, and just really just people got to step up and just make plays.
All right, thank you guys. We'll bring up this side and this side next.
After the field goal, you guys make the big play afterward to get the turnover. Can you just speak to what the defense's philosophy was or what the call was that allowed you all to get that, not only the sack, but then the forced fumble and then the fumble recovery, and that really kind of set things up for you all there?
It wasn't really a specific call, just people really just executing their job. We always preach about what's next, and people just being the brand every single day, following the players' coach's oath, the plan to win. That's really what it came to. It was really no special call. It was just people just doing their job and just defense. Yeah, we had our struggles, but we didn't break. We could bend, but we can't break, and that's what we just came together and just executed our job, and plays just happened like that.
Question for me, for both of you technically, but that fourth quarter, obviously, we chatted with you, obviously, at TCU about the fourth quarter struggles. I guess what was it like in this fourth quarter where you kind of saw them coming back and, guys, like you said, you bent but you didn't break. I guess what was the mentality for you all, and I guess what's this mean that you were able to not only create a turnover but then get the victory unlike previous fourth quarters where you weren't able to do that?
It was just the what's next mentality. That's what we preach about every single day. And no matter what will happen, no matter the outcome, we just say what's next and just keep moving forward to the next play.
Coach, you get the interception tonight for your first interception since when?
My senior year of high school.
Senior year at Denton Ryan?
Yes, or freshman year of JUCO. I can't remember. One of the two, though.
Describe that play, how it unfolded from your vantage point, and what's it like just to get your hands on the ball finally?
To be completely honest, I didn't think he was going to throw it. I was actually shocked he threw it. When I saw the ball in there and I saw it was in my reach, my only thought process was, please catch this ball. So, yeah, no, that was fun for sure.
The guy next to you, how would you say he's played the next 2 weeks, and what has Josiah's development been, or the last 2 weeks, and what's his development been like?
He's got put in a situation this year, in a position this year that he hasn't played, I don't think ever, have you?
No.
Yeah, no. In these last couple weeks, you can see that he's been working hard, getting better, making a lot of big plays for us. He's progressed a lot, and I'm super proud of him for that, too.
The last 2 games, 4.5 tackles for loss with 3.5 sacks.
Jeez.
What do you think has been the key for you to kind of unlock your potential?
For me to answer that is kind of hard. It's just really just focusing on the craft and just, listening to what the coach is saying and just being consistent in, my preparation. There's really no magic to it. It's just like, having that faith and just keep working throughout the hard times. And no matter what the outcome is, just having that faith, you know, in God, and just really just keep working and just saying the what's next mentality and really buying into the program and what the coaches are trying to bring and what we're trying to bring for Texas Tech University. It was really just like, you know, thinking about my brothers, my left and my right, you know, what they need for the team. You know, it's all about the team and what can I do to help the team to make it better, to make the university better. And that's what really just motivated me every single day, and just waking up and just trying the best of my abilities and let the outcome take care of itself.
And Coach, I said, you know, basically a position that you've never played before.
Mm-hmm.
You've been accustomed to playing, primarily inside?
Inside linebacker, yes.
Yeah. And for either of you guys or both, how did it affect the team when Tyree goes out, and what was kind of y'all's, if y'all had any time to talk to him yet?
I haven't talked to him, but when he went down, it's a big loss for our team, obviously. But in the moment, we can't really focus on that. It's next man up. It's like he's been saying, like it's what's next. I think we had Robert Wooten and Isaac Smith step up.
Joseph,
everybody stepped up to fill in those shoes. So I'm glad they held their own. We got the win.
It's just where our coaches, our CJ really emphasizes a lot. You know, that guy, he's something else, but what he says is the truth, and it's just like it doesn't matter what the outcome is. No one really cares. You guys keep on going, keep working. You know, IU was really tough on us, but it pays off. You know, because it develops us not only as players but as men. And that's why I have a lot of respect for IU, because it's all about the next man up. IU's always preaching about the next man up. And you got to work hard. It doesn't matter if you're a freshman or you're a senior. You're going to get the same treatment. You're going to put the work in, you know. And that's what, when Tyree went down, yes, it was an impact, but, you know, like Coach says, the next man up. And guys know that they have to be mature enough to make plays on the field and just perform on demand. That's one of the biggest things IU preaches about, is performing on demand. Like, you know, but, yeah, that's about it.
This question can go to either one of you. Muddy Waters and Rashad Williams also making big plays. Rashad, especially with that one play where the guy like flipped up into the air. Just to kind of want your thoughts on those two and how much of an impact they make on the field.
I think what they do doesn't go noticed all the time. They're DBs, so everybody's always focused on picks and PBUs, but they make a lot of plays. I think Mud is really close to leading the team in TFLs right now, honestly.
I think so.
He's close.
Yeah. Nah, Mud is something else for real.
Yeah. Mud is a big part of our defense. Without Mud, we wouldn't be as good as we can play and how we have played. So, yeah, now both of them are really, really good players for us.
Anything else for these two before we let them go? All right, thank you.
Appreciate you guys.
Thank y'all.
What do we do this?